you doing, family? Okay, I want to welcome you to another edition of Bantu Tesla and have some very exciting news. I know it's been a while since I've done the last video, but I want to bring your attention to something that a book I read at this point over 5 years ago. And I just realized, and the name of the book is Clean Disruption, and the author is Tony Seba. And this video is dedicated to Tony Seba and the brilliance that he brought to the game and had been trying to tell the world over 5 years ago. Okay? I read his book at the time, but I didn't put the pieces, I didn't connect the dots. I didn't see it all coming. Because I re-looked at one of his I just reviewed one of his presentations from back in 2016. This is what I want to get across to you is that when you do good research and you just study the field, okay, you'll come to realize that a lot of the information and data and it is available to you, but you have to learn how to find it, how to see it, actually develop the eyes to see it. And that's what I've learned to do over a lot of years and this is as it relates to picking stocks and deciding which companies you want to invest in, okay, and whether that company is worthy for you to invest in based on the likelihood that they will be a good long-term investment, something for you to sink, possibly hundreds of thousands of dollars in. And that's how a lot of investors become multimillionaires. And that's what I want to teach you in this video, is how to pick a stock so that you can take a small amount of money and grow it into hundreds of thousands and possibly millions of dollars. Okay, and I'm leading by example. Okay, and I've done that with my portfolio, and the way it happened for me is what I'm going to describe for you in this movie. So that's why I'm going to focus on Tony Seba. I want to introduce you to Tony Seba, and I want to proclaim at this point that Tony Seba, Elon Musk, and I say Jeff Don, and I picked Jeff Don because he's on the cutting edge of battery technology right now, and he's the secret scientist that's in the background feeding Elon Musk and the team at Tesla, so that they have been able to develop this new 4680 battery, and this is a pivotal battery. And to try to connect the dots for you, I want to tell you about Tony Seba. This cat is really I call him like the Orson Welles of his time. And I'm going to bring his picture up here for you, and well, it's there. And I want you to see that this guy Tony Seba, he put together some charts back in 2016. I mean, I could show you the movie, but I don't want to bore you. I want to try to keep these videos and try to make them as short as possible. So I'll just use the slides and I'll kind of narrate as I show you the slides. Okay. One of the critical things he predicted was this slide here, and this slide it says it's clean disruption of energy and transportation. And what I want you to notice is the 4 things on this slide: energy storage, electric vehicles, self-driving cars, and solar. Okay? This is incredible. He predicted this 5 years ago. This is 2020. He predicted this he wrote his book in 2014. Okay, so he knew it back in 2012 and 2013. He was putting it together, folks. That puts him 7 years ahead of what Elon Musk is now doing. Okay, 7 years ahead. And I read his book in 2015, so I was potentially 4.5 to 5 years ahead. Okay, but I didn't know what I was looking at. But I knew what he was saying was devastating. And I love the idea of so much clean energy. And this is where I got the idea of the microgrid. And that's when I first did my poster, which is this poster that I'm going to show you. And that's the poster that shows Tesla's solar panels on the top, the battery backup system. This is coming out of Tesla now, and the Tesla vehicle. And that's when I got the first, my first idea for the microgrid. Okay. Okay. So this is the poster I want you to see. This is the poster I put together after seeing this slide, or after reading his book. And this is before, I didn't see this slide because this slide is from a presentation that he did. The slide with the four disruptions of energy and transportation. This slide I just recently found from a video he did back in 2016 that I had not seen. Okay, but I want you to see how, and it's nothing unique to me. It's just that I have an ability to see certain things at minimum. It used to be 3 years in advance, but now it's moved to almost 5 years in advance as I get older. And I'm like kind of drawn to this technology. And it's really out of a desire to efficiency. I'm really key on waste and efficiency. It's something that I always focus on, primarily because I'm kind of lazy. You know, I don't like doing things for nothing, and I certainly don't like doing things over. But unfortunately, you have to do things over in order to progress. You know, so that's just a little flaw that I have. But because of my a desire to avoid repeating and doing things over, I'm always looking for the most efficient way and the cheapest way, and I'm always looking to save a couple of dollars because, woof, you know. But and so that's why when I read Tony Sebel's book, I was just fascinated with. He cited the example, first of all, of the horse in comparison to the car. How the horse was so popular, and when the car first came out, everybody said it'll never take over, it'll never replace the horse. And within 13 years, in this presentation, he talks about, and he shows how in 13 years, where all of downtown on a Macy's, on a Columbus Day parade they had in Wall Street area on Broadway, and he first showed that same parade 13 years prior was all horses and buggies. Then he shows 13 years later, and he asked in that first show, this is the parade, and this is in 1904, and that's when the first car came out. And so on the street, there was only one car. And so then in the next slide, he showed, and I'll show you here, that he says, okay, now this is 13 years later, when people said that there was only one car on the road in that parade at the time. They were saying that would never take over the horse. 13 years later, he shows the same parade, and now it's all cars. And now he asks the audience, where is the one horse? And then the one horse was in the same place where the car was 13 years prior. So when I saw that, then I was really intrigued by that. That was fascinating to me. Then he went on to talk about. He brought up the thing about the Kodak film as opposed to digital photography, and I was a direct recipient of that evolution. When I started my photography business, I was purely digital. I had no film. I trained on film, and I had shot film when I was doing work for an organization for Verizon. I used film. But when I decided to go into business as a photographer and a graphic design artist, I knew right off the bat I didn't want to be bothered with film because it was a dark room and it was not a mess, and it was just a mess. So I didn't want to deal with any of that. So I knew that it had to be digital, and I knew that Photoshop had to be something that I had to master. So because of, again, laziness, I didn't want to deal with the chemicals. So I went right for digital. So when he brought up the example of how digital photography wiped out Kodak in terms of film, because Kodak was the largest film developing company at the time. Okay, and he cited that example, and then he ended up with the cell phone, and he cited an example of how this company went to they hired another company to tell them, it was a telephone company at the time. I think it was AT&T, and they wanted to know how many customers do they believe they would have inside of, I believe some number was 3 or 4 years, if the cell phone were to take over. And the number he cited, they said, oh, well, you would only be able to sell about maybe 900,000 cell phones and within a certain period of time. And then that, when the actuality, when the cell phone actually came in, it was multi-millions, like 12, 13, hundreds of millions of cell phones that were sold at that time. And the point he was trying to make was that you have to understand that large corporations, are what we call OEMs, original equipment manufacturers, they are notorious for being wrong about predicting the future. And it's usually people who are outside of the mainstream who can see the future coming before the legacy. They call them legacy or OEM or legacy. That means the same thing. These are old folks, old manufacturers or traditional legacy manufacturers who've been making things the same way all the time, and they figure it's never going to change. And they become so egotistical and arrogant that they believe that nobody could beat them because they're so big. And so it's kind of like the whole Goliath, Samson and Goliath kind of thing, And so I'm telling you all of that so you understand that just because somebody is big, just because somebody has been in the business longer than you, don't let that stop you. Because if you're younger than them, you already got an edge. Because your mind is open. Your mind is far more open to someone who's been around for so long. That's why I am really attracted to talking to young people, because a lot of times they'll bring up an aspect of a concept or an idea that I didn't think of, because have packed in so much data in my mind from years and years of study that sometimes it can cloud your vision of seeing a brighter future or a new technology or something innovative. And anyway, so this is how I wound up catching this before a lot of the old analysts caught it, that this technology, and that's why I did this poster showing the solar panel with the battery backup system and the Tesla. All of this was Tesla at the time. And at the time I did that poster, Tesla did not own Solar City. Elon Musk's brother was running Solar City, or his cousin. Okay, so the point I wanted to show you here is this particular slide, where Tony Seba predicts that energy storage, electric vehicles, and self-driving cars and solar panels were going to converge, even though each one of them in and of themselves is a disruptive product, okay, all by themselves. But what he's showing here and what he talks about in his lecture is that, in his presentation, I should say, that you can have sometimes you can have what's happening now is we're growing exponentially now. And so not one particular product, where one particular product used to revolutionize industries, now you're having this conversion of multiple revolutionary, disruptive products that are coming together, folks. And they are creating opportunities. That's the key thing I want you to understand. And that's why you can't see this coming. And I can. Because I've been studying this stuff. Well, this particular thing I've been studying since 2015. Because I am a technician and because I am a mechanic by trade in the military. 17 years, folks. If you add up the time that I was in high school, okay, I was 15. So since I was 15, mechanics, that's been my thing, okay? And I morphed that transition. I transitioned from that into, and I always, when I got into mechanics at 15, I moved to the Bronx at 15, okay? But I had already been into computers when I was 12, okay? I didn't get my first computer until I was like maybe 16, 17. Actually, no, I take that back. I was much older because I had to get it myself. My mother definitely wasn't getting it for me. So I had already started in the phone company. So I got my first computer in the phone company probably when I was around 25. So that's when I made enough money to be able to afford the first. It was called the Commodore VIC. First I got the Commodore VIC 20. And then I got into they made something I think called the Commodore 64. And that was when I really started doing programming. But when I first started doing computers, it was a tape drive. That was the hard drive. It was a cassette. That's how far back I go. And I was just fascinated by the idea. And again, the reason why I got into it is because my handwriting was horrible. So I knew I had to find a way to be able to type and print out anything that I wanted to do. And I had a lot of ideas. And I had done some writing on my own, but I was doing it on a typewriter, and it had to have a correcto ribbon and all that other stuff, and very slow motion. So I knew if I could get into word processing, I'd be able to get my ideas down faster, and I'd be able to focus more on my ideas than how to get it documented or get it on paper. Okay, so the search again for an easy way to document, and my laziness is what pushed me to try to learn something that was way before its time, and a lot of people weren't even thinking about it, but I was. I just wanted to be able to do that. And I was fascinated by computers anyway, the idea. Okay, so again, it's this thirst for knowledge that always compelled me to do things and learn about things and push me into things long before anybody else was even thinking about it. And I was blessed to have the patience of mind to be able to focus. Again, as I said in my earlier movies, a lot of people say that I fixate. Well, I've learned to take that critique that people make of me, and I flip it. I do martial arts with it and realize, oh, okay, what they're calling fixating and OCD, obsessive compulsive disorder, is actually the scientist in me. I have a scientific mind. I always want to know how things work. And that has worked to be a great advantage for me, because now fast forward that to stock market and stock trading. And that's why I'm doing this presentation for you. I want you to see how my fascination with technology and mechanics has now converged, as these technologies have converged to create a company called Tesla that is exactly what Tony Seba predicted he wrote the book in 2014. Because I look at the publishing date of the book, it's 2014. This book here, Clean Disruption, 2014, folks. He wrote the book, so that means he had to do the research in 2013, 2012. Okay, and Tony Seba used to work for Cisco Systems, which at the time was on the cutting edge of Silicon Valley technology. Everything that was coming out of Silicon Valley and California. A lot of those engineers and a lot of those software engineers were being bought out by companies all over. You name it: IBM, Intel, Microsoft. There was no Amazon, didn't exist at the time. So, those engineers were being bought out, and they were coming like crazy. Programmers. These all were programmers, people who coded, and they were making these phenomenal programs. Okay. So Cisco System was one of the was the best paid. The engineers and software engineers that worked for them and coders, they were paid best. And so everybody wanted to work for Cisco System. And then Tony Seba wasn't a coder, but he was an analyst. And his job was to analyze energy and try to predict what are the trends that are going on. And Cisco would begin to start getting into those energy fields and start developing technology or software to help make them an asset to anybody that's developing that technology. And that's how Cisco Systems wound up growing into this massive corporation. And Tony Seba happened to work for them at the time, and this is how he got on to energy. Okay, so that's the background of Tony Seba. That's the background for me, and so I'm explaining to you why I have so much ability to deal with this subject on a level where most of you who don't know that these are the things that I've been doing in my life, almost as a hobby. It's just something that I love to do. It's something I would do for free. If it was a job, I would do it for free. Okay, and that's what they say. If you find something that you will be willing to do for free, you'll never have to work a day in your life. And that's why for me, doing graphic design, photography, online investing, stock investing, these are things I would do because I'm just curious about them. And the technology just so happens I got a good background coming through Verizon that, I was just moved into that direction through Verizon. That's how I got into becoming a splicing technician. But again, it's technology. That's the key word there. Okay. So I want to show you this list. This is my original list, if you remember. And I did this presentation to you. Oh, wow. This was before Q3 even came out. I did this presentation to you, a CNBC interviews where they were interviewing analysts, and these analysts were finally expressing, this is 2-3 months ago now, they were finally beginning to express that, they realized that Tesla is way ahead of all the other companies, and it doesn't look like anybody else is going to catch up. They're only saying that because Tesla finally was profitable. That when Tesla wasn't profitable, they were kicking them and trying to kill Tesla because the vulture capitalist oil companies, okay, they were trying to kill Tesla because they knew that if people started getting into all electric vehicles, that would be the end of them. And so they hired a lot of these analysts, and they'll never admit it, but they hired these maggots to try to get in there and kill Tesla before you even got a chance to take advantage of it. Because one of the main reasons why they want to kill Tesla is because Tesla, Elon Musk, don't care about money. And that scares the living hell out of them. Because Elon Musk realized that in order for his children to grow up in a world where the air is clean and the oil is gone and the water is not polluted like these filthy vulture capitalists are doing in the oil industry. Because let me tell you something. To make natural gas, to make gasoline, to make a lot of these petroleum products that you have been using, even grease and lubricants and things that you use, or they use for the millions of parts that make up these cars that are unnecessary, that Elon has shown. They have to pollute your environment. They have to pollute your water, even to make sugar that you use that is no good for you, by the way. They have polluted. I'm here in Florida. They have a big domino. I don't even know what the name of the sugar company is up there up in Orlando, and they are polluting the only source of water in Florida. They call it red tide. And I say that to you, I want you to understand. These vulture corporations don't care about you. They want to use you. And that's what I love about Elon Musk. He's wiping all of their behinds out with a single stroke. One guy. His mind is so brilliant. And I'm telling you, the people of the planet, I'm not talking about to black, white, none, it don't matter. I'm talking about the people on this planet. You get behind Elon Musk because he's doing everything he can to save you. He's doing it for his children, but he's going to take you with him. Everything this man is doing is to make this world better for your children and you. Money doesn't matter to this man. And this is what you got to understand. That's who you want to invest in, because you always want to invest in the guy or the lady that is doing something that nobody else is doing. And I'm telling you, when you shake hands with Mother Nature, and that's what Elon Musk is doing, and he will be protected. Because Mother Nature, he is working in harmony with nature to keep the water clear, the air clean. Okay? In his factories, he tells you our pollution footprint is negligible. You will never know that they have a factory park next to you. Won't smell a thing. The water will be pure. He filters out everything, and he minimizes the amount of pollution that his factories create. There are no OEM auto manufacturers that are even give a damn about how much they pollute. All they care about is how much money they can get from you. And that's why I'm telling you, Elon Musk and Tesla is just getting started. And if you got any money to spare, get your money behind Tesla. Okay? And here are my other stocks that I'm going to put up here for you. Because this is Bantu Tesla. Okay? And Bantu Tesla is dedicated to, I use the word Tesla because Tesla is the most groundbreaking, mind-boggling, disruptive corporation on the planet, bar none. Okay? The only other corporation on the planet that is groundbreaking and devastating, all of them belong to Elon Musk. Starlink, and I got them in here on this slide right here. Starlink, Boring Company, SpaceX, landing rockets, landing boosters, standing up. Nobody's ever done that before. 2 at a time. One of them landed on a barge that's moving like this, and they land the rocket standing up. Folks, ain't nobody doing nothing like that. And it's the same, and it's not Elon by himself, by the way. Elon does not do this alone. He has a football field of engineer and brilliant minds that are doing this stuff with him. Okay, it's a team. It's he. He is just the quarterback that's telling and clearing the runways and running and covering all of these brilliant minds that are trying to create stuff to make life better for you. And the key word there is better. Evolution requires us to constantly get better. And I talk about that in my Bantu Morpheus presentations, okay? But this particular forum is designed, okay, to focus on economics. And I'm giving you all of this background and this techno comprehensive detail so you understand that this is no joke. And what I'm telling you about, there ain't nobody doing this, folks. We are on the cutting edge. Everything we're talking about here is going up to 2030. So we are talking now about things that are going to happen 10 years from now. This makes it next level. Okay? And I'm going to keep saying this over and over and over again. We black folks, we got to get behind this, put that race stuff on the side, and keep your culture. Let's do Africa. But we want to take all this technology and bring it to Africa. Okay? That's how you honor our ancestors. That's how we honor all the people who have sacrificed their lives being captured and put into bondage. We have got the next generation. We're responsible. Our ancestors did the best they could, okay, under the circumstances that they had. And they made it and cleared the runway so that we can live the life we're living right now, free and constantly putting our foot up these white supremacists behind. Every day, and you may not think we're moving here, but let me tell you something. We're moving. It's slow, because you're a tree in the forest, baby. But let me tell you, this forest is growing. And that's why you think they're raising so much hell. Because they see us moving. We're not supposed to be in that White House. And that white supremacy concept is a lie. And it's dying. Okay? And so we have got to take advantage of this opportunity and take these tools and move ourselves back to where we are supposed to be, on the cutting edge, okay, of moving the human race forward. Humanity, let me say it that way. We have always been on the cutting edge of moving humanity forward, okay? That doesn't make us better than anybody else, but it makes us better at being first, okay? And now evolution has created some other human forms that are moving the whole humanity forward. And that's Elon Musk. And yes, they happen to be quote unquote lighter than we are. Their skin have different colors, but the skin is really more of an indication of the brain. They're more left side. People who are of this lighter pigmentation, humans, okay, lighter is the color, light. We're darker, color. Hue means color. Man, being, people. Man, people. Being, spirit inside people, okay? So they are good at left side, but a lot of us are good at left side too. When you dig into Tesla and you dig into SpaceX and you dig into all of these different companies that this man, that his team, that Tesla is doing. When I say Tesla, I'm talking about the whole team. I'm not talking about Elon Musk. Okay. There's a lot of black folks in there, engineers, heavy, big time. It's just not enough of us so you can see it. But they don't care what color you are. All Elon cares about is, are you on the cutting edge? Are you trying? He don't even care what you get done. He worries about that you are trying. He said that. Look at his old interviews on YouTube. He said, one thing gets you fired in his company, he said, I don't care what you try and fail. He said, I don't care how much you fail. He said, but one thing I don't want is nobody around me that's not even trying. He said, if you ain't even trying, he said, I don't want you around me. Because this is not about failing. And it's not about what you get done. It's about your efforts. See, and that's what we have got to learn. Stop getting into this victimization mentality. If you keep repeating that we're behind, like I've been saying, we're behind. But I'm only saying that to show you, well, look at me. I grew up dirt poor. Okay, but it has not impacted my thirst for knowledge. See, what gets me where I am is I've been always thirsty for knowledge. This microphone that I'm using, this webcam that I'm using, the two computers that I have here, the monitor that I have. The monitor, I've had this monitor for probably over almost 10 years. I mean, the big screen TV. This thing here I've had since I started my photography business back in 2007. This thing is over 13 years old. So it's not about me buying a lot of stuff. It's just that I value what I have. And that's what I want you to do. I want you to learn to value this data that I'm giving you. And I know I'm kind of making you drink from a fire hose, and I apologize for that. Because I've been doing this so long, to me, it's like batting my eye. I don't even think about it because I have so much experience in behind me. But what I want to point out to you is, one, these 5 or 6 stocks that I have listed, I'm gonna keep them over here on this side right here. Yeah, I'm gonna keep them listed up here on this side. Okay. Those are the stocks that I have been researching. Some of them are like the cannabis play, CBDS, Planet, PLN, HF. These are new. TLG, RF. These are all speculative. TLG, RF is a graphite and with the battery, lithium, a mining company, and they're going to explode. When I got into them, they were only 45 cents. Now they're $1.45, and I just got into them about maybe 6 months ago. Okay, a buddy of mine turned me on to them. I mean, one of my analysts, Jeremy. Most of my stocks I get from Jeremy, because he does the research for me while I'm doing all these YouTube movies for you and the things that I'm doing, my mind, and I'm writing books and doing stuff on a whole nother subject. So I rely on these analysts to do the homework for me, and once I verify it, then I go ahead and I invest. Okay? And that's the same thing I want you to do. Jeremy has done a lot of this legwork for us already. Let's not reinvent the wheel, folks. We're playing catch up here. All right? If you're watching this and you have no experience in this stuff, so I'm not expecting you to go in and do all the stuff that I'm doing. That's why I'm doing this movie, so you don't have to do it. I want you to raise your kids, and I want you to, this is my family that I'm doing this movie for anyway, by the way. So keep raising your kids, doing what you got to do, and just be aware that I've done a lot of this homework already. Don't try to reinvent the wheel. What you got to learn to do is trust me. Okay? That's the only thing you're going to have to do. And if you trust me, you'll make money. If you don't, you won't. But I guarantee you'll be back. See? Because I'm not making stuff up. And here's the thing how you know. Like Elon Musk, I don't want no money from you. Get to that. You know why I don't need any money from you? Number one, I have wisdom and I have knowledge. I have experience. And I'm doing stock investing. These things that I'm showing you over here, these things I'm invested in. My portfolio has already gone up over 1,000% since 1 year, last year ago. So you can play games all y'all want, but I'm telling you what I'm doing. And unfortunately, black folks, you only believe what you see. And I don't blame you for that. After what our ancestors have been through, I don't blame you for that. The point is, I'm doing this so you can get ahead. I don't want no money from you. I don't need 10% of your income. Okay? This is for you to take charge of your life so you can be responsible and take charge of everything in your life for yourself. And all I'm trying to do is giving you the tools to be able to do that. Okay? And we're going to have a lot of fun, and we're going to make a lot of money. See, because I'm doing the research, deep, heavy research. Okay? And what this video is about is showing you how I came and got this information. So these are the 12 things that the first 8 is Tesla. The last 4, the Boring Company, the Underground Transport Service, SpaceX, Starlink, and Neuralink, where you're going to get an implant into your brain so you'll be able to make cell phones and control computers by just thinking. There's nobody on the cutting edge of doing stuff like that. And I know it scares the hell out of you to hear something like that. But don't worry. Buckle up. You'll get used to it. Okay? The other thing I want to point out to you about Tony Seba. Now, Tony Seba is basically only talk to you about the first 8 things here on this list. And this is his list here. First, he had this one with the 4 core things where he's talking about energy storage, electric vehicles, self-driving cars, and solar. All of that's Tesla. Okay? This list right here, he's got 11 things on here. And one of these things on here, the last one, number 11, that's Ark Invest. She's doing Kathy Wood. She's on a whole nother level. She's covering all of the Bitcoin, okay, and all of that kind of financial that's going to take out the banks. Bitcoin's going to take out the banks because the banks are playing a whole nother game on you. That, you know, again, vultures. And why are they doing it? Because they can. Why do they keep doing it? Because they figure they're too big. What you gonna do about it? They too big. You can't do nothing about it. So they figure they're never gonna get taken out. But boy, they got a surprise coming for their behinds. They got a surprise coming for their behind. Bitcoin's gonna take them out. It's gonna be more than just Bitcoin too. Watch. So, back in 2016, look at this list here. These are the key exponential technologies that Tony Seba predicted back in 2016, folks. 2016, and he wrote the book he published the book in 2015, so that means he's wrote it in 2014, so he knew it. If you give it, you go ahead and look at it from a transcript date. This man knew this stuff 6 years in advance. Okay? I read his book in 2015, so I was made aware of it 5 years. This is 2020. We're going into 2022 in about 3 more weeks, folks. I'm shooting this video on the 2nd of December in 2020. Okay? We're about ready to cross into 2021. 2020 is over. Okay? So, look at this. Artificial intelligence, AI. Guess what that is? They call it full self-driving. That's what is propelling that artificial intelligence is the software that is allowing Tesla's vehicles to be full self-driving. Okay? And let me show you this. I'm going to put a slide up here. This is a slide that's letting you know the levels of full self-driving. And the last 3, and the one that Tesla's has just put out at the end of December, Tesla is going to put out to not to every Tesla, but to everybody who has paid for the full self-driving software activation in their Teslas. Elon Musk is going to put that out somewhere to everybody. I would say at the rate he's going, probably by the end of February, March, spring, he's going to put that software out. And by the end of December, this time next year, full self-driving will be ubiquitous. Everybody and their mama is going to know about it. Okay? And I'm telling you now, 365 days in advance. By the end of next year, full self-driving is going to be ubiquitous. And everybody, all the other automakers, they don't have a chance to catch up. They are so far behind, folks. I'm sorry. And all I can tell you, and the problem I'm having right now is I'm telling you things that haven't happened yet. See? And you're going to get to know who I am. My name is Russell Allen. So my close family calls me Oduwole. My site name is Bantu. Okay, and I do Bantu Tesla, and I also run Bantu Morpheus. These are my brand names that I'm using for YouTube and informative purposes. Okay, over time, you're going to get to know who I am. And I'm not better than you. It's just that this is the gift that the universe gave me to bring to the game. Not for me, it's for everybody. I'm not better than you, I'm better at this. I'm good at this. This is what I do. Okay? But my ego ain't involved. See? Because I know where I come from. There's a lot of ancestors behind me. Okay? And I don't usually do all of that. But I know that's where my insights are coming from. I got analysts to my left and to my right. Brother Philippe Matthews, Baba Nana Kaba Kameni. These brothers are brilliant. But they're good at what they do. See, that's what they're bringing. They're good at what they do. They're not better. They're better than, I can't do what they do. Okay, that don't make them better than me as a human being, but they're better at what they do. Folks, forget about this competition step. That's another thing. We got to get this competition thing, take it out of the game. That's for dumb brutes. Dumb brutes do the competition. This ain't a competition. This is a cooperation. We have one planet, and the planet is like your human body. Do you want your kidney competing with your heart? I don't think so. Your body will not survive long competing against itself. That's the dumb brutes have brought that in. The vulture capitalists have brought that in. They have taken over this education system. Okay? And they got you in that mindset, that wrestling is real mindset. See, those are air burgers, and you got to stop eating on them things. They're not real. Okay? This is a cooperation, folks. This is about people working together and bringing whatever skills you have to the game. Okay? And this is my skill. I'm good at predicting. I'm good at finding technologies ahead of time and preventing waste. That's what I'm good at, and that's how I found Tony Seba. Okay? And what I'm telling you is, this is how, when I used to tell my young kids when I formed my group, knowledge is power. So what do you do? What does that mean? You have to take the information, when you connect the dots and you start to see what's in front of you. The next question is, how do I use that? Okay, to move myself up and move my family and my people, all the people. When I say people, I mean the people in your circle, your social and family circle. And yes, there is culture. Yes, there is. In my case, because I'm an African American, I'm an African who was raised and born in America. Okay, we have some social issues and socio-political issues that we have to work on. And this is a mega multitasking process. There is no one thing before the other. Everything is happening at the same time. See, if you understand what you are as a spiritual being, you'll know that your potential is infinite. And you can do anything you put your focus on. But you need to cut that TV off and throw that doggone Bible out and stop dealing with superstition, faith, and hope. These things are not scientific, and they're not going to get you anywhere. You got to do things because of what you know, not what you hope. You don't need to have faith in science. You just have to know how it works. And stocks work on knowing the technology, knowing the personality of the CEOs and their ability to perform. If they say they're going to do something and they do it, you ain't got to hope. You don't have to have faith in them. You see their track record. Elon Musk has been doing this since 2012, folks. Remember PayPal? He created that. This is not hope. I don't have no faith in Elon. I know what he can do. And that's what I want you to invest in, what you know. That's how you make money in the stock market. Not hope, not gambling. Oh, it looks like it might. No. Might don't make money for you. It's what you know. Okay? And that knowledge is based on wisdom, which is a use of judgment and research. That's what the knowledge becomes, okay? And you have the wisdom to make the judgment, to pull the trigger and buy the stock. I'm connecting the dots for you here, folks. I'm connecting the dots. All right? So look at these industries here. Solar PV, robotics. Elon Musk, most 90% or 85%, if not 80% of his factory is all robots. Okay? Tony Seba predicted this back in 2016. What else is on the list here? Energy storage, we already covered that. 3D printing, folks. Oh, that's just getting started. If you know a company, just do your research on the top companies in 3D printing. And then when I find out about it, I'll put that in the next movie. Okay? And if I find out here, I'll put it over here when I post the stocks. But I'm not invested in any 3D printing companies right now. But I'm working on it. Okay. Now, 3D visualization, that's entertainment. 3D visualization, however, in the medical field, okay, now you can make some money on that. You can invest in that. Okay, you can find out who's on the cutting edge of 3D visualizations for medical purposes. Oh, now we're talking some serious money here. Whoever's the best, you invest in that company and sit back and wait. And that's how you're going to make money. Okay, connecting the dots, family, connecting the dots. Mobile internet and cloud. Okay. Cloud, Google. Okay. Storage. Cloud. Lasts forever. Don't need hard drives in the house. As a backup. Okay. Good as a backup. Cloud is old now. Been out for a good 10 years. Everybody's doing cloud. Zoom. Everything is stored in the cloud. Facebook. You name it. Social platforms, YouTube. These movies will be up in the cloud forever. Okay? So we already into a Star Trek. They go to the holodeck and all that stuff. That's 3D visualization. Okay? When you see the doctors doing work in Black Panther, you see the way they were using, that's 3D visualization. If you see it in the movies, folks, that's because it's already happening. You just don't know about it. Okay, that's another key that I'm giving you. A way that you can see the technology coming. If you see it in the movies, folks, they're already doing it. When they put it in the movie, that's to condition your mind to get used to it. It's coming. Okay? And usually, again, it's 3 to 5 years in advance before you actually see it on the ground. Look how long Star Trek, they had the little tricorders. That ain't nothing but a cell phone. There's nothing but a cell phone. Those little communication devices, now they put it on that thing and they're tapping the shoulder. That's Bluetooth. Bluetooth. They were tapping the shoulder. That's nothing but a Bluetooth device. Except now it's on the shoulder. Okay, how long ago have they been doing that, folks? See, what I'm telling you is because I've lived this stuff and I can validate it, all right? And I'm showing you how to validate it, okay? Then let's look, what else there? Oh, they said something about mobile internet. Guess what? Starlink. You ever heard of a company called Starlink? As we speak, Elon Musk and SpaceX is launching satellites, 60 and 70 satellites at a time. He's got a permit to put up 30,000 satellites, folks. And he's only launching 60 and 70 at a time. And he's multitasking. He's launching satellites. He's preparing the rockets to go to Mars and to set up a moon colony. At the same time, he's doing the Boring Company, okay? This man is working on so many different levels, and when you look at him, he just says, "Oh yeah," and he's laughing and joking, But that's because he's not doing it by himself. He got hundreds of thousands of people working for him, working with him, not for him, with him. They're not doing it for free. These people are getting paid, folks. And that's another thing I want you to understand. There's money in this. Okay? We ain't got to. And oh, by the way, I was going to say we don't have to beg for reparations, but don't be fooled. Or we going after that. We're not leaving no money on the table, black folks. Okay? You get ready for that. And that, I'm big on that. We're going to get paid for that. Because we need to take that money now and move our kids and to build our legacy for our children. So I ain't giving up on that, because that's an insult to our ancestors from the past, and sacrificing the blood and the sacrifice that they did and all of the filthy things that these people have done to my ancestors. Oh, it's about revenge. But the revenge is we're gonna make them pay for what they did. Okay? That way our ancestors will, ma'at, balance. You do ugly, you gotta pay in order to balance everything out. That's the principles I go by, okay? And we ain't ever gonna give up on that one. Let's be very clear about that, and I mean that to my marrow of this vehicle that I'm rolling around in. Until the day this vehicle stop breathing, I'm gonna fight for those reparations. We ain't ever gonna give up on that, okay? I just want to get that little segue. So when you hear mobile internet, by the way, Elon Musk was born in South Africa. And he fled South Africa because he didn't want to join their army to help them murder black people. Okay? That's why he fled and went to Canada. Worked his way down in New York. Read his book. You'll see his story. Elon Musk is deep. And by the way, his father was a brutal, vicious, racist bastard. And that's why Elon Musk don't want nothing to do with any of that. And he beat him viciously. And he's a brilliant photographic memory. And his father was beating and brutalizing him. So he's against all of that too. Okay? See, when you know people, you know how to invest. You know is everything guaranteed? No. But it's a high likelihood. When you invest, you're investing in the high likelihood that what you're investing in is going to pay off big time. And it's based on principles that you can rely on. Okay? So let's look at this. That mobile internet, that's Starlink. The only global internet service that is global. Nobody else is doing that. And this is on Tony Seba's prediction list, folks. He calls it the 2016 key exponential technologies. Exponential. That means to the third power. Something times itself, and times itself again. And exponential, we don't know how many numbers that is. That could be, we don't know. Okay? Next one is big data. Again, that's cloud storage, open data. That's Google. Okay, we're already using that. That ain't nothing new. And unnamed aerial vehicles. Now, that reminds me. And again, 2016 he brought this up. But guess what? Elon Musk just said he just was interviewed at I forget where he was interviewed at the time, but back on 1201, Elon Musk said, "Oh, that was the and I'll put the thing up here. My memory's bad because I'm doing a lot of things, but I'll put a slide up here so you can see." And this is the way he was being interviewed by this group that would give him an award for being like the entrepreneur or the innovator of the year. Okay. And in that interview, he said that electric jets will be possible in approximately 5 years. He said what he has to do is they have to accomplish 400 plus kilowatt hours to be able to get that out of a battery in order for a battery to be able to provide enough power to propel a jet. and it just may be what they call takeoff and landing. They call it TOL, takeoff and landing vehicles. Okay, TOL. All right, which is short hops, like from say Midtown Manhattan over to LaGuardia Airport. You know, the batteries are good enough to do that. And as the battery technology gets better, that takeoff and landing aviation vehicles are going to become longer and longer range vehicles over time. But that's just VTOL, they call them, vertical takeoff and landing vehicles. So when you hear the term VTOL, that's what they're talking about. VTOL, vertical takeoff and landing vehicles. Okay? And that, he said, will be here by 2025. And it may be sooner. Because everything that Tony Seba predicts has come much sooner than he had predicted it back then 5 years ago, 4 years ago. Okay? And it was on his list from 4 years ago. Okay? Unnamed aerial vehicles. Unnamed. Okay? Nano satellites. Elon is doing nano satellites already. His satellites are little. And it's a bunch of them. And they're designed to burn up in the atmosphere after 5 years and be replaced with newer, updated. So his ability to innovate and revolutionize everything Elon does is not static. Static means is not standing still. Static means to stand still. This stuff is a moving, evolving, growing technology. Every single thing that Elon does will not be the same 3 months from now, 6 months from now, a year from now. It'll be better. See, and you know why Elon Musk is going to always be successful? And I'm telling you, get behind this. Not just Elon. Well, Elon, because he has companies that are not Tesla. Okay? Neuralink is not Tesla. So you have to be on the lookout through your Fidelity alerts. You can sign yourself up Fidelity alerts, so when companies IPO, when they become I think that means individual, I forget what it means. I'll get the meaning of IPO and put it up there. But that means the companies, they become public offering, individual public offering. That's what IPO, one of them, it stands for something like that. And that means now you can buy that stock. So you want to be on the lookout. I put myself on the list. I'm looking for 2 companies, Neuralink and Starlink. When those 2 companies and the boring companies, if any one of them come online, I'm going to start throwing whatever money I got into those stocks. And you got to catch it when they IPO, because that's when it's nice and cheap. When Tesla first came out, the stock was less than $18 a share. It was pathetic, some small number. It scared the hell out of you if you saw it. You know, now the stock is 500 and some odd, 60 some odd dollars a share, and that's after it already split from when it was $2,500 a share. That's how it grew up to, and then it split and it became 5 for 1. So the price appeared to have gone down, but it didn't go down. They just broke it up, so now it's easier for you to buy. Trust me, it's still $2,500 a share. And so the price that it is right now, when it goes up to $7,000 a share, which they are predicting by 2025, you have to multiply that times 5. And that means the stock is worth $35,000 a share. Folks, that's the kind of money I'm talking about here. We ain't going to get left behind on this. Because I'm gonna annoy the living hell out of you black folks with these movies. Oh, I'm going to annoy the living hell out of you. I'm telling you right now. I'm not going to let you sleep on this, because it's an insult to our ancestors if I did, and I'm not going to allow that. I'm not going to allow that. See, before I was trying to figure out what was going on. Now I know what I'm doing, and I'm going to honor our ancestors on a level you can't even get your mind around this. Because there's one thing about me you will learn: I don't ever give up, ever. And I'm telling you, that's the approach you have got to have. You want to be successful? All you got to do is like Elon. Don't ever give up. And I guarantee, take a break. If you need to take a break, you go smoke a joint, cool out, take a sip of some wine, stay away from liquor. Bad. Not good at all. Nothing good about liquor at all. I don't care what nobody say. Wine, good, natural. Wine is good. Weed, natural, good. Don't do too much of nothing, though. Don't do too much of anything. Take a couple puffs, put thing out, go on about your business. Wait another week or two, whatever. However you want. Whatever you can tolerate. It's up to you. That's your life. You are in charge. Because if anything go wrong, nobody else is going to pay but you. Now, if you're making your own money in the stock market, there's your freedom. You don't have to kiss nobody's behind. You don't have to ask nobody's permission to do anything. And by the way, marijuana, cannabis, I can predict within I don't even think it's going to make 3 years. They're going to need the tax money so bad because these filthy Confederates have screwed up the economy so bad. They're going to need to get tax money from anywhere they can. And marijuana is 1,000 times safer than liquor. Okay? And it's cheaper. And it lasts longer. And it's healthier for you. Anything them vultures have put out here so far, it's never any good for you. They design things to kill you and make money off of your death. They do it in the medical industry. They do it in the pharmaceutical industry. Then they sell you the body bags and the coffins to bury you. And then they sell you the headstone to put on your grave. They're using you like they're playing you like a Stradivarius, but you can't see it because you're too busy being a tree in the forest. That's why I'm telling you, cut that TV off, throw that Bible in the garbage, and step out into the real world. Take the red pill, folks. Leave the matrix. And then you'll be able to take control like I have done. Okay? So I segue. Now e-money. The last thing on the list here is e-money. That's Bitcoin. I already talked about Bitcoin. So these are the 12 things that Tony Seba is the man for the 21st century. Elon Musk is the man for the 21st century. Kaba Khamenei is the man for the 21st century. Jeff Dawn is the man with battery technology for the 21st century. Philippe Matthews is the man for the 21st century. Kaba Khamenei and Philippe Matthews for African Americans and black folks all around the world, they are going to get your head together. And they're going to show you how to cut that TV off and throw that filthy Bible out. There's nothing in it for you. Everything that's in that Bible, they stole it from our ancestors. And let Kaba Khamenei show you how they can take you back to I was reading his book today with the Chemetics, what's the name of the folks? I'll get it right now. I'll put the name up here on the side for you to see. Okay. And this is before the Egyptians, folks. We talking heavy. The Shabaka stone and all that stuff, that was long before these last few dynasties showed up. And they got the Shabaka stone was a rewrite from the real heavies. And I can't think of their name. I'll put it up over here for you. But I read that this morning. I got so much stuff going in my head. Folks, I'm trying to tell y'all something. Cut that TV off. Get into this. Get into the spirituality. Where's my book at? Oh, I got it over there. I'm using it. Spirituality before religion. Kaba Khamenei, the man is a genius. Black folks, white folks, pick up Kaba Khamenei's book. White folks, you want to know the truth? Pick it up. Then get Francis Cress Welsing's book. Get this book here. Francis Cress Welsing, okay? The ISIS Papers. Don't take stuff personal. Take the knowledge and change your mind. Change your life. Cut that TV off. Because that stuff they teaching your white folks about white supremacy, damn lie. got you in a mental a mindset that is absolute insanity, and there's nothing in it for you but death. And that's why I'm telling you, let it go. Come alive. Join the living people. Get on the side of nature. Be what you are. Be proud of what you are. But don't think you're better than anybody else. You're not better than anybody. You may be better at doing some things. That's the paradigm shift that I'm promoting in my Bantu Morpheus lecture series, folks. We got to become humans again. Let's stop being white. Let's stop being black. But you can't stop being African. Let's just be very clear about that. We can stop being black and we can stop being white, but you can't stop being African, because Africa is where it all started, folks. This ain't about being better than somebody else. It's about the truth. You wanna lock arms with the truth, because the truth will set you free and teach you how to bond with your spiritual essence, which is eternal and never dies. That's what you want to bond and identify with. Your spiritual essence. And everybody is spiritual. You just may be in a vehicle that has lighter albinized skin, where the melanin has been washed out because you got caught in some kind of an ice age thing. That's not your fault. But it's your fault if you buy into a mindset of insanity and death and destruction and murder and genocide. If you want to side with that, go ahead. But you ain't going to stop. You're not going to stop the evolutionary process. Because when you start doing all that, you're messing with Mother Nature. And she will eat your behind alive. And guess what? You ain't going to stop a damn thing. Because nature will go on, and evolution is the will of God, is the will of the order, and you ain't ever gonna stop that. So if I were you, you better forget about that race stuff, and you better get into your spiritual essence, because your spiritual essence that you have is the same that I am. What I am, that's what you are, and ain't nothing can change that. That is the truth. And it cuts through all the race, culture, and everything. Okay, family? Got to get into that. Okay, so getting into this, let's look at this other slide right here. Tony Seba did this. He projected the cost of the lithium battery that once it crossed over the one, and remember Elon Musk said once they get the battery to put out 400 kilowatt hours, okay, once you can put that out, then you can go ahead and start doing jets, right? But what Tony Seba is talking about here is the cost of the battery. Once it crosses over $100 per kilowatt hour, then that will put it on parity with cars, okay, with automobiles, in terms of the amount of energy and the cost of energy in order to propel the car. And he predicted that in 2024, folks. Elon Musk just put out a battery that is already $50 a kilowatt hour. So Elon Musk has just moved us 4 years in advance. Now, in fairness, he created the battery in 2020. He already said it won't be in full production until 2023. So Tony Seba predicted that it would be in 2024. According to this slide, 2024. Elon Musk said it'll be in full production during 2023. So Tony Seba was almost spot on. And in fact, if you're going to err, you want to err on the side of being too late. And Tony Seba predicted it a little bit later. So he is ahead of time. It happened even sooner than he predicted. So if you want to make a mistake, you want to make a mistake that way. That's a big plus for Tony Seba. He called it. That's why I say Elon Musk is a genius. Tony Seba is, folks, I want you to, the reason I'm putting all of this animated energy into this, I want you to understand what you're looking at. This man here, Tony Seba, this man here, this guy right here, that's the man. You want to acknowledge this man and give him the kudos. Oops. Yeah. You want to give him the credit for what he's doing. Tony Seba, brilliant man. Brilliant man. Okay? And Elon Musk, I don't even have to forget about it. Okay? But Elon Musk and Tony Seba, Jeff Dawn, I'll put a picture of Jeff Dawn up here too for you. Because Jeff Dawn is the guy behind in the background. You don't even know about him. Y'all got to do your own homework and get up on there. I'll still throw a picture up here for you. But that's the battery man. Him and a bunch of the other engineers. He got a team of engineers he's working with. And they're on the cutting edge of getting these batteries up to speed. Drew Baglino and all these guys that are working with Elon, these are all engineers, folks. That's just Tesla. We're not even talking about SpaceX, boring. We talked about SpaceX with the satellite being put up in the air, Starlink, okay? And Neuralink, that's coming. Neuralink is a whole nother. That's Star Trek. That's spinal. He's going to be doing brain implants that's going to bypass the spine and get people who are paraplegic, quadriplegic. He's going to make people walk again, okay? Folks, whew. Remember you saw it here on Bantu Tesla. Because I'm telling you now, this stuff is here, not coming. It's here already. Okay? Let me see what else I got to tell you. Okay, just in the way of news now. GM has already put their people on notice. And they told them that they put the dealership. He just announced it day before yesterday on 12:30. GM announced that they told their dealerships that they have to get on, and the Cadillac dealerships, they have to get on board with this all-electric Cadillac, because the dealerships don't want to sell the Cadillac because it's all electric. They're not going to be able to suck no money out of you anymore, because the thing don't have an engine, and it don't have an exhaust pipe, and it don't have oil changes, and don't have a transmission. So now they can't suck no money out of you. So the dealerships are trying to say, we don't want to sell it. Well, GM said, okay, you don't have to sell it, but then take that GM name off of your dealership, and we're going to buy that name back from you. We'll give you $500,000, and we don't ever want to see you again. And good luck selling the rest of them cars. And I can tell you right now, they're going to get stuck with all them cars, because people are going to, once the women find out that these Teslas are oh boy, I'm an hour over. I don't like these movies that go beyond an hour. Once the women find out these Teslas are maintenance free, virtually, not actually, but virtually maintenance free, all you have to do is change the brakes, tires, windshield wiper blades, okay, body and fender work. That's what you gotta do on the rotors, on the brakes. Which you won't be using the brakes, because the car is going to be doing regenerative braking, and the car is going to drive itself, and you'll never touch the brakes. Oh, folks. I'm sorry, but I just got to keep emphasizing. Once you get your head around this, once you get your head around a roof, a solar roof that is almost unbreakable, okay, they're dropping bowling balls on these solar roofs that Tesla is making. Bowling balls. The glass on the Cybertruck is going to be shatterproof. They call it steel glass. Okay, not bulletproof, shatterproof. The example that they showed you on Cybertruck, the reveal of the Cybertruck, that's because they've been throwing that steel ball at that thing 30, 40 times. If you keep throwing something 30, 40 times at something, eventually it will break. Especially the same spot. So don't fall into this brainwashing from these vulture capitalists. Don't let them talk you out of. And then some of you going to get talked out of it, but those of you that catch on, you're going to make money. That's how that's going to go. Okay? So GM is already, and this is the end of 2020, they're already putting their people on notice, the dealerships. You better start getting with this electric vehicle thing, because they're getting ready to make another one. They're getting ready to make a pickup truck, and they're getting ready to step it up, and they're already putting the Cadillac out there. Now, the full self-driving on the Cadillac, folks, I feel sorry for anybody that put their money into that, because you're going to be highly disappointed. And the Tesla cars are going to come and whoop your behind off the line. So you go ahead if you want to. And I told you about the planes and whatnot. And the terminology I want to give you today in terms of the stock market, I want to talk to you quickly about when sometimes you'll see the stock market will drop 600, 700, 800 points. In the past, that would have been a catastrophe for most people. They would go and jump out the window. But now the market is up so high, 600, 700, 800 point drop in the market, that ain't nothing. Especially when that filthy thing in D.C., before we voted his behind out, the way he was doing things to destroy the doggone market because it was not working for him. But now that's not a big deal. So when you're in the stock market, you will see the market, Dow will drop, NASDAQ will drop, and when all three markets drop major, that's called a macro economic event. Okay, so you will hear the term macroeconomic factors when you're watching some of my analysts, particularly Rob Maurer. He uses that terminology a lot. Okay, so when you see that, that's the term that we're gonna. Each time I do a movie, I'm gonna try to give you some terminology that you may not be familiar with. But macroeconomic is that just means something that happens politically or socially in the environment. That is, like, for instance, when the vaccine, when they announced that they had the vaccine, you saw the stock market shoot up. That's a macroeconomic event. Okay, so that means people's confidence in the future have just jumped up, and it is that indication shows up in the rise of the stock market. All three, NASDAQ, S&P, and the Dow, you will see both of them, all three of them go up at the same time. But your stock may still go down. So there's no real connection. But sometimes when everything goes up, all the stocks will go up. Sometimes when everything comes down, all the stocks will drop down too. So it can happen. It can happen. Okay, but it's not usually connected. I want you to know the difference between that. Okay, let's see what else in the news that I have for you. Another term that we're going to hear, and Tony Seba talks about it, is called TASS, TASS, and TASS means TAAS, TAS, and that means transportation as a service. Transportation as a service. TAAS. Okay? The other term or name for that, transportation as a service, they call it ride sharing, robo-taxi. But transportation as a service is a little bit different from robo-taxi. Transportation as a service, it means you pay $100 flat rate like you would be paying for a Costco membership, right? But this payment will be monthly. And you will be able to get a car. I don't know, you may be able to drive it yourself, or you may let the car drive you anywhere you want to go. Anywhere from here to Tampa, 4 hours away if you want. That's what transportation as a service is, as opposed to robo-taxi, which is usually for short hops and things like that, and you pay by the mile. That's the difference between robo-taxi and transportation as a service, TAS, okay? Or ride sharing. Ride sharing is robo-taxi. Okay, transportation as a service is a monthly fee that you pay, and it will take you anywhere you want to go. Well, probably within reason. They won't allow you to drive from here to California. I don't think they're gonna go for that. You know, then they have car rental services for that. Okay, but that's in the future. But I just want you to know that term, TAS, transportation as a service, and as opposed to robo-taxi. That's a totally different ball game. Okay, What else do I need to give you here? 1120 Tesla battery analysis with John. Okay, we went over all of that. Okay, so Tony Seba. All right, this is the guy, and the two lists I wanted you to see here was and I talked to you about the prediction of 2024, right? And then I talked with you about these four things that are all Tesla: energy storage, electric vehicles, self-driving cars, and solar. And then I showed you this list of the 11 different key exponential technologies that Tony Seba predicted back in 2016. Another thing Tony Seba predicted here, okay, the cost of EVs, okay. And he did also, he talked about this, and you know what, I'm going to split this movie up because I've got a couple other things I want to talk with you about, and this movie's gone way over than one I wanted to talk with you about. And when you watch these movies, family, don't try to watch it all at once. Cut it off. Watch 15 minutes. Do what you got to do. All right. It's easier for me to go ahead and put it all together for you rather than try to keep cutting off and making one movie after another. And what I'll try to do is make clips. I can divide these up on post-production and make them a little bit easier for you to swallow and deal with the details of it. Okay, this new slide here, this is one I wanted to cover, and this is the slide where Tony Seba predicts that the ICE vehicle and SUVs will become affordable, and he said by 2018. Okay, ICE vehicle and affordable, they are in 2018. Okay. And he predicted that the average ICE car cost in the U.S. will go down to $33,000 by 2020. And the ICE, I think he's saying that the all-electric vehicle will disrupt the ICE vehicles by 2020. And he's right on time with that because Tesla is in full swing as of 2020. Okay, they became profitable in 2020. It went into S&P in December 21st of this month. We haven't gotten there yet, and they are going to take out ICE vehicles. And he predicted, he said by 2020 that would happen. He also predicted, he says, the average cost of low end gas, I can't quite see that slide, in the U.S. will the cost of a low end gas powered vehicle will be he said will be $22,000. And Elon, he means that the all electric vehicle there will be a $22,000 model by 2022. And Elon Musk said it'll be a $25,000 model by 2023. So Tony Seba again predicted something in 2022 back in 2015, 2014 when he wrote the book, folks. That's why I'm saying Tony Seba, folks, Tony Seba is a monster. He is the Orson Welles of the 21st century. But Orson Welles is talking about fantasy. And he predicted a vision, but it was really supposed to be science fiction. Tony Seba ain't talking about no science fiction. He's talking about this will happen. Okay, he's taking it to the whole next level. That's what evolution does. It brings you people that are going to take things to the next level. It's about being better at doing something. Not better than Orson Welles. Better at predicting what Orson Welles was doing in his time. It's not a comparison. It's not a competition. This is about getting you the data that you need in order to know what to invest in and what to buy, the products you need to buy so that you don't have to keep buying 3, 4, 5 cars. You buy one car, it lasts 1,000,000 miles. Okay? That's another thing that's hidden in here that they're not talking about. These cars, no maintenance, and they last 1,000,000 miles. The body is going to fall apart before the chassis does and the battery wears out. Y'all got to get your heads around this. This is where we are at. And 2022 is tomorrow, because in another month we'll be in 2021. Okay? And he's predicting this stuff in 2022. And he said by 2030, every single car will be all electric. There will be gas-powered cars around in museums as collector's items. And you will have hell finding gas to power them. Because these vulture capitalists, they'll drop you like a hot potato. They don't give a damn about you. Watch. They'll drop you like a hot potato. Watch. You gonna say they don't give a damn about you. If they can't make no money on you, you ain't nothing to them. And you gotta understand that. You have no loyalty. Don't be loyal to any of these vultures, because they don't care. Okay? Okay, so now let's see what else he's got here. That's basically it. This is the slide. And the only other slide I want to show you is this one. And this is what I call, this is my slide for the ladies. This is for the ladies. See? This is for you ladies. If this slide don't convince you, I don't know what else will. Gas-powered cars, ICE, internal combustion engine, ICE, internal combustion engine. They call them ICE vehicles. Gas-powered vehicles. They have 2,000 parts. And when any one of them parts break, you're going to take it to a mechanic and he's going to rip your brains out, lady. Because ladies, he know you don't know what the hell is going on, and he's going to take complete and total advantage of you, because they don't give a damn about you. These cars are designed to milk you dry of every dime of money that you have, and they don't care. Okay? That's what they're designed to do. Rip you and drain you of every dime of your money, if they can. And they'll drop you like a dead body. They don't care, like a vampire sucks a dead body out and just drop you. Don't care. That's why I call them vulture capitalists. Okay? And look at that as opposed to an electric vehicle. And this thing that he got, this picture he got here, this thing is so old. This is from not 15, but a good 8, 9, 10 years ago. This skateboard thing. Look how old that thing is compared to the skateboard they got. Not this GM got a better skateboard than that. And this thing got 18 moving parts. Folks, okay? It's pathetic. It's pathetic. All right? But ladies, this is for you. Get you one of these Teslas as soon as possible, and then forget about maintenance on your car. That car is going to drive forever, and you can charge that thing up. You ain't got to worry about no stinking smelling gas, oil, exhaust pipes, none of that crap, transmission fluids, all that stuff slipping and all that nonsense is over. Elderly people, electric car, Tesla. That's the best thing going right now. There's a couple of them out there. Kia, Hyundai, Kia. And what Tony Seba said is, once the car gives you 200 miles for a charge, game over for the gas-powered cars. Because the gas-powered cars, they'll give you 400 miles for a tank of gas. But you pay so much in maintenance and stuff, they eat you alive. They eat you alive. You'll be spending all your money on maintenance. Okay? All right? So, I know I'm making you drink from a fire hose, but it's a lot of data. It's a lot of information. But I'm going to keep repeating a lot of this stuff because I want you to get this. I want you to get into the stocks. I want you to buy the vehicles. I want you to get the solar panels, put them on your house. Get these battery backup systems, put them in your house. Become a microgrid where you don't even need Florida Power and Light. You don't need Con Ed. You put their behinds out of business. Okay? That's what's coming. That's what's coming, folks. You don't need them. Why should you pay for power you can get free from the sun? Okay? Free from the sun. And Tesla will put the roof on, and you don't even have to pay for the whole roof. You can lease the roof. You can lease the battery backup system. You don't have to buy the whole thing. You don't have to have no whole lot of money to get these things now. You can lease the cars now. I wouldn't do it because I want to own the car, because pretty soon, I got news for you. From what I'm hearing, you ain't going to be able to buy the car pretty soon. By 2030, they talking about not even selling you the car no more. And you won't want it because ride sharing and transportation as a service, like I just said, is going to be ubiquitous. Ubiquitous means everywhere, all over the place. That's what ubiquitous means, all over the place. That's one word. Why would you say all over the place when you can just say ubiquitous? One word. Okay? That's what's coming, folks. That's what's coming by 2030 for sure. But I'm not taking you to 2030. I want you to just deal with 2023 to 2025 with the stocks. Because by 2025, folks, if you get in on this Tesla now, and depending on how much you put in there, you put $100,000, $200,000, you roll that 401k into a Roth IRA, and you pump all of that into Tesla, and you start putting it into these penny stocks and get you thousands of shares of these penny stocks. And when them suckers all go up to $100 and you got thousands of shares, you're a multimillionaire. You're a multimillionaire with just one of them. If you got thousands of shares, 6,000 shares of a 45-cent stock, and you got $200,000 in your 401k, $50,000 in your $30,000 in your 401k. You take $10,000 and get yourself 2,500 share of a 45-cent stock, and if that sucker goes up to $100, that's your first $100,000 right there, folks. This ain't hard. Knowledge gets you money. Okay? It's just a matter of you applying it properly and having confidence and trust in somebody that's doing something, that's giving you something for free, okay? And just telling you take advantage of it. And I'm not telling you believe me. I'm telling you do your research and look at what I've done. Okay? Like I said, my portfolio has gone up 2,000% from when I first started in 1 year. Now you go do your research and tell me if you find somebody else that did that. And there are a few of us out here. There are quite a few of us out here, but it's just a few amongst millions. Because when I was 22, I'm 64. When I was 22, I cut that TV off and I threw that Bible out. And 45 years later, do I look worried? Am I concerned about dying? No, don't care. No such thing, don't exist. Okay, that's for another movie. But all of that adds to my happiness and my joy. And what frees me up to be sitting here talking to you with confidence and let you know you are worrying yourself for no reason at all. And you know why you're worried? Because you don't know nothing. And that's why I'm doing these movies. I want you to get informed, and I want you to free yourself and free your children of worryation and anxiety and paying these filthy vulture capitalists to destroy your life. Now, that's the worst thing you want to do. You want to talk about a bad investment? Paying attention to them. You should even pay attention to them. They're not worthy. Because whatever you pay attention to, that's what you're going to attract in your life. I'm telling you, pay attention to this. Pay attention to self-empowerment and wealth building for you and your family. Okay? I do this out of love. And I do this in order to spread the word of wisdom and knowledge okay, to enlighten you and free you and help you to build wealth and have a clean environment, okay, where you have enough money, where you don't have to tolerate and you don't have to be a part of anything you don't want to be a part of, okay, and you need money to be free in this world. That's just the way it's designed. Okay, family? One love, and I'll see you in the next movie.